Hello again, everyone. Edwin Norman back once again in this YouTube astrological segment. I'm going to be talking about Neptune square or opposition to Black Moon Lilith in a natal chart. Now, some of you may remember when I first started my YouTube astrology channel, I did a series on the aspects of the natal chart. They were a little bit concise. Some people may refer to them as snappy. So what I decided to do is make another series on them in which the videos would be a little bit longer and more descriptive. So anyway, first thing up is, if you have Neptune square or opposite the Black Moon Lilith in a natal chart, you may have difficulty in terms of finding the inspiration, which is Neptune, for what you have an intense passion and desire for, which is the Black Moon Lilith. Now, if the Black Moon Lilith, say, is in a Capricorn as an example, which you have an intense passion and desire for, maybe connected with business-related matters. It could be attaining career ambitions, attaining greater social status or stature in life. It may be doing something Capricorn-related, whether it's something associated with architecture, construction. It could be dentistry, accounting, information technology, masonry. It may be something associated with math. It could be, just general mundane work, as some examples, or government or political work even. Now, also, too, these aspects can indicate trouble balancing activities associated with those that are less fortunate, which is Neptune, and those that play a provocative role in your life, which is the Black Moon Lilith. One may conflict with the other, and let's say, if you have the Black Moon Lilith in Aries as an example, the people that one or more of those people that play a provocative role in your life may be an Aries Sun, Moon, or Ascendant person, or simply embody the characteristics of the sign. It could be, those that are aggressive, assertive, combative, forceful, ardent, enterprising, pioneering, but at the same time may be impetuous, impulsive, and even in some cases volatile as well. Now, and the same may apply in matters pertaining to your dreams and fantasies, which is Neptune, and what you have, the strong passion and desire for, which is the Black Moon Lilith. In terms of balancing activities, that one may conflict with the other. There may be difficulty balancing those activities that are associated with your dreams and fantasies, and the things, again, that you have the strong passion and desire for. So, let's say, for example, if you have Neptune in Scorpio, dreams and fantasies, may be pursued with, a lot of, it could be a lot of passion, desire, emotional intensity, resourcefulness. It may be something associated with the occult, which includes astrology, some other things, maybe psychology, locksmithing, embalming, investigation, forensics, deep research, insurance, loans, or work that may involve, surgery, or even, position as a coroner, as some examples. Also, too, the people that figure prominently in your life, again, which is the Black Moon Lilith, may not be overly beneficial in terms of you dealing with hidden adversaries, which is Neptune. It doesn't mean that they're necessarily to your detriment in those matters, but they may not be overly helpful. They may not be around, when you're trying to, weed out, those people, hidden adversaries, those, as an example, that may be posing as friends, but are secretly, enemies, those that may be using you, for something, as some examples. And now the thing is, let's say, for example, if Neptune is in Sagittarius, one or more hidden adversaries may actually be a Sagittarius Sun, Moon, or Ascendant person who simply embody the traits of the sign. It could be those that are philosophical, optimistic, jovial, jocular, humorous, exuberant, enthusiastic, travel-minded. It could be those that are outdoorsy, but at the same time, it could be those that are reckless, self-righteous, and foolhardy as well. And another way that these aspects may manifest in a natal chart is that Neptune-related people may not be advantageous in terms of you dealing with the dark side of the Black Moon Lilith placement. Now, it doesn't mean that they're, they may exacerbate it or make it worse. In some cases, that could be the case, but in a lot of cases, it could just be that they're not around, in terms of helping you, or, they may not be, much of assistance, even if they're, making any kind of effort in doing so. Neptune-related people covers a number of persons, whether it's those, that are spiritualists or those involved in metaphysical, which includes astrology, or it could be those that are less fortunate than yourself, formerly in prison, people, could be people involved in poetry, dancing, photography, as some examples. If the Black Moon Lilith, say, is in Leo, as an example, that dark side of that placement, maybe one that's supercilious, arrogant, egotistical, could be a very domineering side, that one wants to keep suppressed and hidden. It may be one, that could be very extravagant, nature that is very prideful, as some examples. Now, also, too, these aspects may not be overly propitious in keeping, the negative manifestation of the Black Moon Lilith placement hidden. And Neptune is connected with what is, the hidden and the unseen. So, let's say, for example, if, let's say, if the Black Moon Lilith, is an Aquarius, as an example. It could be that, the negative manifestation of it may be tied in, with rebellious or very non-conforming qualities. It could be idiosyncratic behavior. Maybe, the person has, caused some issues in the astrological community, creating dissension in it. As some examples, there may be bizarre behavior. That one, is having trouble, a little bit more trouble than, in most cases, keeping hidden. It could also be, as far as these aspects in the natal chart go, another way they may be expressed is that formidable adversaries, which is the Black Moon Lilith, are more likely to conflict in matters associated with isolation, relaxation, and sleep, which is Neptune. Whether it just maybe these people being on one's mind may cause issues with sleep. As an example, it may be just having to deal with them, may cause, more, deprivation as far as relaxation goes, or maybe causing issues with one, trying to isolate. It can be, let's say, for example, if the Black Moon Lilith is in Virgo, one or more of these, enemies, these powerful enemies, may actually be a Virgo Sun, Moon, or Ascendant person who simply embody the characteristics of the sign. It could be those that are pedantic or very analytical, detail-oriented. It could be those that are cynical, judgmental, critical. It could be those that are actually very organized as well, and but yet a very fault-finding. Also, too, spiritualists and those that are connected with the metaphysical, which is Neptune, may not be, beneficial in terms of you, trying to embrace the higher level of the Black Moon Lilith placement. It doesn't mean that they're not, that they may be to the detriment of it, but it could be that if you're seeking, guidance for whatever reason, through spiritualists or what have you, it may not be, overly helpful to you for whatever reason. Doesn't mean that you don't do that if that's what you feel you need to do, but it may be a little bit harder to get that, assistance in that manner in terms of dealing with in terms of trying to embrace, that higher level of the Black Moon Lilith placement. Now, if the Black Moon Lilith is in Taurus, as an example, the higher level of the placement may simply be, making contributions, somehow, something Taurus related, whether it could be something with architecture or something with banking or finance. It may be something with geology or archaeology. As some examples, it could be showing, expressing good powers of perseverance and patience and persistence, being able to have a good, calming influence over other people, as some examples. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Leonard saying, stay well.